Hello everyone, welcome back to M-Link on YouTube. We're bringing you the 2017 OCAA Championships, a big matchup coming here between the Mohawk Mountaineers and undefeated Grizzlies. I'm Nick Sahami.
And I'm Lucas Mancini.
So before we get into this match, we got a player profile we're going to bring you here. Number 9, Trevor McLaughlin, as you can see here, the OCAA Player of the Year and one of 2 CCAA All-Canadian players. One of the other All-Canadians on the other side, Liam Gray, number 1 for the Grizzlies. Look at that, 206 total points to lead the way. 13 points yesterday against the Bruins. You can see McLaughlin, the 5th-year captain here for the Mountaineers. When he wins, these Mountaineers win very easily, and potentially today they could be launching themselves into the gold medal matchup against the surprising Durham Lords, who stunned the D-Bark a little bit ago, taking down the number 1 nationally ranked Fanshawe Falcons.
Yeah, you know, that game was an absolute thriller, one that we didn't see coming at all. A great surprise for that. Both of these teams are looking to play a very ready Durham College team, so this game has everything that should be promised, and we're going to get underway here.
Yeah, you can tell the crowd getting amped up, and for the 2nd straight night, we're going to actually have a full action-packed crowd here. The D-Bark filling, filling up. As long as I can keep my voice here after that exciting one against the Lords and Falcons previously. And now, though, the Falcons going to make this a little bit tougher on the Mountaineers with that loss, as with the Mohawk Mountaineers going to have to go through the Grizzlies and the Lords to find themselves in the CCAA Championships, which will be at the Fanshawe Falcon campus coming up in a couple of weeks. But as we get into action here, we're going to see Spack going right to Del Judas, and just like that, a quick point for the Grizzlies, though. Not the start maybe you wanted on the Mountaineers side, but Liam Gray, the other All-Canadian CCAA player here, going to be setting up for serve for the Georgian Grizzlies, as mentioned, undefeated on the year, 19-0 after the win yesterday. But just like that, a couple of quick points back and forth here, and I think we're in for quite the matchup here, Lucas.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know if it could replicate the game that we just had here, but the Mohawks got the home crowd. Cameras are capturing a beautiful crowd. We're completely full tonight. Lots of Mohawk support, lots of Georgian fans as well that made the trip for this one. The Mountaineers are going to play off of the energy, and maybe, as we just saw there, maybe a little bit of nerves, unfortunately, early on in this one, as these fans, they've had big crowds, but maybe not one like this is rowdy with so much on the line.
But just right back the other way, BLB with his own unforced error, and we're going to see loss of serve and point over to the Mountaineers, tied 2-2 early on here. We'll have to see if the big trio of Del Judas, Gerard, and McLaughlin can continue their stellar play from the 2016-2017 season, where these Mountaineers finished 16-2. But both of those losses coming here at the D-Bark, though. But a big block right up front there on Rakala. Mitch McFadden, the first-team All-Star, coming through and getting red right away here. A big block on that one.
Yeah, you know that they came ready and they want to make the plays for the home crowd support. It just gets the intensity and everybody involved a little bit more. Just an overall exciting atmosphere here tonight at Mohawk. And when you know you got a championship game, one game ahead, and you know who your opponent is, and you maybe feel like you can take them with Mohawk beating them, man, I don't know what more you can ask for other than this.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to get our excitement level up here to match this, Jim. That was a big block up front. McFadden versus big 18, Matt Kerr. Kerr, player of the game yesterday, running into the McFadden wall there. And now as Charlton gets the serve over here, we're going to see Gray setting it up on the end there for Edwards, but not going to be able to find too much success. Now Spack on the other side, but that's going to ride the line there, and we're going to see it actually result in a violation. 4 hits technically, because it didn't go over the net there.
So as you can see, we got some good action early on. 4-3 for Mohawk to start. A quick start. Points are going to be hard to come by for the most part in this one. Mohawk lucky to get another one there. 5-3 now. If they can get up early and get the home crowd in their favor and put all the nerves into Georgian, well, I don't know. That makes for a perfect start for Mohawk and a recipe for success for the rest of this one. They want to get the first set under their belt.
5-3 early on here. A nice dig out on the back line there by Burke, but we're going to see McGurr come together there with McLaughlin. McLaughlin slow to get up, and on the other side now we're going to see Del Judas with the air into the net. A big point for Georgian as they do take the serve back here. And Del Judas there talking with Matt Schnarr a little bit, making sure he had the right positioning. And Del Judas though with 21 total points in yesterday's match, almost taking a set himself. You know they need Del Judas right away, but there's Spack, and who cares about Del Judas if first team all-star Mitch McFadden's gonna play like that tonight?
Well, you know what? I was just about to say, you don't want to, we saw there when the play was hit right into the net that you don't want to try to do too much, you know what I mean? You want to do too much to get the crowd going, and you want to be the center of attraction. You just got to stick to the game plan, stick to what you've been doing all year, and it's nice to see that Mohawk came back quickly from that.
Gray saving that one as it's just going to be put over there by Ricala, but now we're going to get Spack right to McFadden, but McFadden running into the wall there of Haynes, and McFadden finding his own big block right there, dropping at his feet now, and the Grizzlies taking this serve as we're going to see number 10 set it up here as mentioned. Jake Edwards, the fourth-year player, veteran out of Barrie, Ontario, but Gerard finding Spack, and here's McLaughlin, and just inside the line there, a big one there for the fifth-year All-Star, Trevor McLaughlin.
He can really paint the line, and he's a lot better at it than most people. He has the most kills in Mohawk volleyball history. He's one of the league's premier players, an all-star in his own right, and in the league's right. He's just one of the best players the league has to offer, and Mohawk's going to ride him if they hope to somehow pull out the victory here at home.
Sorry to interrupt there, but that was an incredible serve on that one as we pick up the play there. These Mountaineers coming out hot here, taking this lead now up 8-5, and we're going to check the replay on that one. A big block up front, the wall of Spack and Charlton coming together on that one now with McFadden setting up for serve as we seem to be getting some chants going here from this big Mohawk crowd. But like you touched upon earlier, Lucas, maybe potentially that crowd could play a bit of a negative effect here. The pressure is clearly on the shoulders of these Mountaineers here, making it a little bit easier, I think, on the Grizzlies side to kind of settle down and into their play.
Sometimes you just try to do a little bit too much because you want to be the hero and you want to get the crowd going, and it's just a great feeling. I would too if I was out there, but you can't. You just got to settle in and just treat this game like it is any other and just stick to your game plan.
Bielby coming through with a big one there, and Mitch McGurr not able to come up with that one. Matt McGurr, that is, of course. And now we're going to see it go back here to Haynes. And Georgian down just one here now, actually. 8-7 early on in this first set at the D-Bark. But there's McLaughlin. This time McLaughlin able to get that one through, taking the big assist from Spack. And you're going to hear the name Spack quite often here tonight as he's that big facilitator with 49 of 54 assists yesterday. Holy goodness, you could tell he was on fire, putting the ball where it needed to be as he gets this serve over. But Bielby getting a nice block there, but Del Judas trying to take advantage of the party ball, not going to be able to on that one. Out of bounds on Del Judas, and now we see the Grizzlies down just one again with Gray picking it up for serve.
And you look around at this crowd, we keep talking about how nice it is. I'm actually seeing a lot of blue in the crowd. The Georgian crowd and family has really traveled well to support their men. And this is just going to be a great atmosphere overall, as it has been so far in this one. Another nice paint. They're just finding a way to get it right in the line, and it's working out nicely as Mohawk pulls ahead to a 10-8 lead.
Well, we touched upon the trio of Del Judas, Gerard, and McLaughlin. Yesterday, they managed 50 of the 65 total points for the Mountaineers. But now we're getting McLaughlin with his big patented jump serve there, just out of bounds early on here. Both of his service games, not what he wants here. Some unforced errors starting off this game, but Bielby now on the other side again with Georgian down just one, getting the serve over here. McGurr to Spack, looking for Del Judas, and with the deflection, that looks like it's going to hit off the wall, and it does. And Del Judas finding his third kill here early on in this first set.
Mohawk's finding success with a lot of the spikes and a lot of the set plays. They're really trying to take the front of the net like a lot of these teams have so far today. Mohawk off to a good start, not letting the nerves get the better of them. 11-9 now.
But Charlton getting the serve over here as Bielby digs that out, getting it to Gray. Gray gonna find Jackson, but a big walk there, on Edwards, and with the double hit on that one now, a 3-point lead here, 12-9 for the Mountaineers early on in this first set.
Mohawk's going to want to get the crowd to continue to keep going. Every single little play they make, the crowd absolutely explodes. This has just been an amazing game so far to start. Points coming quick too, Nick.
definitely an exciting start here, as you mentioned, to say the least. But Charlton getting the serve in here. Bielby finding that, getting it to Gray, and Bielby coming right back here up the middle. Actually, big Matt Kerr, 18, putting that one down. And Matt Kerr is one of the players you're going to see here tonight for the Grizzlies. If they win this one, he's going to be a big factor along with Liam Gray. But now Kerr getting the serve over here. Here comes Spack, here comes Deljudas again. And oh goodness, how was that saved from Ricala? And they're just going to be forced to get it over, and Spack now going to find Deljudas, take two. And this one now going to find successes on the back line. Bielby and Kerr not able to find that one. And again, Nathan Deljudas continuing his hot start from yesterday here tonight at the D-Bark as he takes a quick little step off. We'll find Max Anderson on for serve here.
Deljudas finding a lot of success early, just pounding it right at Georgian. He's got that little extra crowd support behind him, and he's hitting the ball very nicely early on in this one.
But now we're going to see McFadden set it up there, and Chris Spack looking like an outside hitter there, and not like the setter the Mountaineers are used to seeing from him. And a big one as he gets a good surprise there, and you can see on that replay, the Grizzlies weren't expecting that one.
Nope, the power that comes from him, he's not that big of a guy, and he gets way up there, and he's just throws his opponents off a little bit.
And right back coming another big block, the wall of McFadden and Charlton. And just like that, these Mountaineers now extending this lead, 15-10, keeping this crowd in it, which is very important when you do have the potential for this home crowd to sway this game. You got to keep them excited, and that's what these Mountaineers are doing here. But now Gray gonna just be forced to watch that one. He's slammed back down into the court by Gerard. And these Mountaineers playing like the number 5 ranked team in the country here. Almost as if they are licking their chops for this gold medal matchup now that they know the Fanshawe Falcons are taken out. But now we have our quick first time out here from the Grizzlies side. Let's see if we can highlight Liam Gray a little bit here. He has definitely been, as mentioned, one of the big factors all year and a big reason why these Grizzlies are undefeated at 19-0. Liam Gray, as we touched upon a little bit at the start there, one of the 2 All-Canadian CCAA All-Stars. Along with, as we get a view, they're getting some energy back into him, it seems, with the Gatorade. But as we touched upon there, if Gray goes, and the big thing for him, if he gets those assists to his team, the Grizzlies are going to go. And I think they need to come out a little bit stronger here coming out of this lineup. You can see they're 552 assists, but the one thing you love there, Lucas, what do you see?
I love the digs.
There you have
16
it.
yesterday. You know what I see there? He's willing to put his body on the line. He's willing to do everything for his team to get the win. It doesn't matter if he's going to put himself in a situation where he's going to take a bumper or bruise. He's willing to do just that, and you got to love it. You absolutely need players like that on your team.
Yeah, 40 assists yesterday, an incredible number. Spack, though, not to be outdone with 48, as mentioned. But here we go, brilliant backup. We got Gray going to find Edwards, but a big block again from McFadden and Spack. Gray looking again now up the middle. Going to be just out there for Haynes, but on the other side, we're going to see the violation, I think, on the volley. Yes, and with that now, the point going to go over to the Grizzlies as they break into that momentum. 6 straight points there for the Mountaineers. And now on the other side, let's see if Trevor Ricala can find some momentum for his Grizzlies.
Mohawk's going to want to keep the lead sizable. It'll just keep the nerves down. They don't want to have to play in a close game. I feel like playing in your own gym definitely does give off a lot of extra little nerves. And here we go. We got
I think they're going to call that 4 hits, actually, so 1 too many there. It looked like the initial deflection wasn't going to count, but they did say that it was corralled properly, and so it does count. And with that, too many hits. Now 16-12 for the Mountaineers as Ricala gets this over. McGurr finding that to Spack. A little bit too far back for Deljudas, I think, and yes, not going to get the angle he wants. Out of bounds on the back line there, and just like that, the Georgian Grizzlies here only down by 3, Lucas.
Yeah, that's one of the first times today that Mohawk has found one of their spikes to be too far. They're normally pretty good at just touching it in. Obviously, not all of them are going to go, but a little bit uncharacteristic there for Mohawk.
And there you have a nice bump by Deljudas to Gerard, but not going to work as a good dig. But here's back to Deljudas, and the deflection up top, they're going to be a big point for the Mountaineers as they take this service game back from the Grizzlies. And you can see Haynes up front there, who definitely wanted that one.
Mohawk is playing like a team on a mission right now. They're doing everything they can to keep this crowd in, and they're playing with that focus that we saw Durham. Durham was playing the better team, obviously, or so we thought, but they just came out and they really wanted it. And you can just see when players are really locked in and the excitement is just it just shows it's not hard to see at all.
Yeah, the only reason, in my opinion, why these Mountaineers aren't ahead by 10 in this set, their service game. But on the other side now, Edwards with the serve. Spack going to be looking for a McFadden somehow floated long enough for that one. But here comes Bielby. Going to go out of bounds, but it's going to deflect off Gerard there last second, and a big point now for the Grizzlies
I think Gerard there knew that he probably shouldn't have touched that due to the fact that the ball was going to go out if he didn't stop the flight of path from it. Those are just little mental mistakes that sometimes a big crowd and an extra motivation can get in the way of doing. There you go. There's the mental toughness which we were kind of talking about.
Now we're going to see Ben Tonin, number 2, come on quickly here as we see McGurr and McFadden come off.
Yeah, Ben comes from Westmount High School. He played his whole life with his twin brother, Brett, who actually went to Fanshawe College. With the 2 twins, Hamilton boys. He's been on this Mohawk team his whole career.
Yeah, Tonin recovering actually from a concussion earlier a few weeks ago as well, so not finding as much court time as he usually does, but still able to affect the play here as we get a nice defensive play from the Mountaineers. But here comes Bielby. And I think we're going to see, though, the violation on Bielby on the follow-through. And actually, no, we're going to see the violation on the Mountaineers. Another big point here for the Grizzlies, down just too early on.
Yeah, they're finally starting to get the lead back to something within reach. If Georgian could get going and get the crowd out of it, I really feel like that would be something huge for them, just to maybe calm down the jitters that they have, because they're definitely not used to playing in such a hostile environment. But this is what the OCAAs create, and this is what we all love, is a good crowd and good support, and there's not much better than anything than this.
Spack again to Gerard, making up for that misplay earlier. And just like that, again, these Mountaineers able to put a pin in any momentum these Grizzlies are trying to build up here. But only a slim 3-point lead here, though, for the Mountaineers as Spack setting up for serve. Gets it over here as Ricala looks for Gray. And, big Matt Kerr thought he had the angle there, but that air right into the net now. And the Mountaineers just a few points away here from taking this first set. See Matt Schnarr getting right on the court, and that's a favorite play of Schnarr. Pretty much toes the line most of the game.
He's a very animated coach.
Gray saving that one. Berg forced to put it over, but McGurr, Spack, Del Judas, and there you have it again. Del Judas having himself a game here already early on. In these 2017 OCAA Championships, the final semifinal match of the night here. And these Mountaineers looking tough against the Grizzlies. Potentially going to send these Grizzlies packing with their first loss. But let's see if Georgian has anything to say about it here as Gray sets it up for Kerr. But just like that, the Mountaineers again coming back with a nice block. Carlton up front there. And he's been an X factor this year for Matt Schnarr, finding a lot more confidence and trust in Schnarr. And you can see just why he's been so strong up front there for the Mountaineers.
Anytime you can have a big man like that can just take away a lot of the front of the net, especially when he's out in front of it there. Bad play for Mohawk. But when you have someone that takes away those big strike abilities, and especially like him when he takes away a lot of the middle as opposed to the side, that takes away a lot of possible offense and then makes you have to work from the outside. And that in itself isn't necessarily the best thing for the offensive side of the ball.
And now Gray with the serve, and he's going to find the ace on the back line. Gerard smiling there as I think he's realizing some bit of bad luck. Decided to try to get the last one, hit him out of bounds, and this one he decides to let go, lands inbounds. But Gray here looking for the serve. Going to go for the big jump serve here, and Gray, one of the better servers in the province. But now we see Gray looking, going to set it up for Bielby. Bielby looking to get that around McLaughlin as he did, but we're going to have to see Del Judas just put that over here.
Great play, though.
And Edwards to Gray and Kerr, but Kerr not finding the success he wants, but going to work out anyways as McGurr put that one in the wrong spot, and McLaughlin wasn't able to grab that.
22-19 now. Georgian's finding a way to creep back in. That's a point that they don't want to see go in.
This is definitely a big one here. I think if Liam Gray can get this one, we're going to be looking at a whole new ball game in this set, but almost on point and on cue, out of bounds there, and now the Mountaineers are going to have a chance, only a couple of points away from taking this first set and giving this home crowd exactly what they want here tonight.
You kind of saw him take an extra breath there before he took the shot, maybe some nerves creeping in for one of the better players on Georgian, an uncharacteristic play.
Just out of bounds there from Bielby, and now these Grizzlies reeling a little bit. The 19-0 undefeated Grizzlies in tough here against the 17-2 Mountaineers. But now McLaughlin getting this in here on set point and going to be just out of bounds there though. And there's still life in this first set for the Grizzlies. And now Bielby going to be getting this one in here. Set point still technically, and that is how you don't want to find yourself ending the first set if you're a Georgian Grizzly. But just like that, 25-20 here for the Mountaineers. A big first set win, and you know the excited, animated Matt Schnarr should be a little bit happier than normal because his team came out high-flying here against these undefeated Grizzlies. But we're going to be throwing it here now to Ryla for a little bit more insights here.
Before the game, I was able to talk to Matt Schnarr from Mohawk College, and I was also able to talk to Reed Saxby from Georgian. Both were saying going into today's game that they were very excited to see what the other team has to offer. Both teams are pretty equally matched going into it, though, so we're definitely going to have to see how the rest of the game goes. But so far, Mohawk's been able to pick up the lead. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you very much, Ryla. We're going to check some highlights here from that action-packed first set. As mentioned, we should be thanking our viewers for joining us here again on ImLink. As you'll see, Spack getting it to McFadden, and goodness gracious, Lucas McFadden can just get up there, but not one of the only high flyers, as you see the CCAA All-Star on that one, McLaughlin.
That's what makes Mohawk so effective, is you're going to watch these highlights and you're going to see different numbers, different players making all these types of plays. What makes Mohawk such a versatile team is they're not like a lot of teams where they rely on one or two players for the offensive, defensive side of the ball. They have a group of hitters, group of high flyers, and everybody's out there digging hard, working, and this team is a full team, not one of those types of dynamics where they focus on one or two. Mohawk is a full set team, hence the reason why they're rated up there so high in all these standings, and they're playing such good volleyball right now, taking the first set like they wanted to do pretty convincingly to 25-20. Definitely they couldn't have started that any better.
The one thing I got to highlight here though, Matt Schnarr, it looks like he lost that first set, and that's the intensity I love from the coach, Matt Schnarr. And I think a factor for that too here is any home game now for Matt Schnarr on the D-Bark gym could be potentially one of his last on the men's volleyball side, as he will be retiring as head coach on the men's side after 9 incredible years for the Mountaineers. He will be maintaining, though, as the women's coach. He did jump onto that ship here as the first-year coach this past year for the Mountaineers, who have a very promising team on the women's side. But he will be handing off the reins, though, after this year. And you know he wants to come away with gold and maybe a national championship to go out on top.
Oh, of course. He's a very competitive guy. You see it with how animated he is on those sidelines and how bad he wants it. Those girls are going to have to work harder than they probably ever had to work before. So the men's team is an example of what Mohawk can truly be and what his teams are like. You see the intensity in his eyes. He's pacing up and down the court at all points in time. We're getting ready here for the second set. Let's see if this intensity really continues.
Oh yeah, here comes the crowd again. And we got the big heads out again here tonight. It looks like we got, I think, Del Judas out there. Looks like McLaughlin and Anderson as well. And you can see there McLaughlin with the head flipping there. And this crowd having some fun here tonight though. And you see Matt Schnarr, that's the epitome of Matt Schnarr right there. That's the face he has pretty much planted on whether his team is up 2 sets or down 2 sets. The fans having a little bit of fun here as we're going to pick it up now. Spack going to get this serve in. And right away we get this second set going here as Gray's going to find Bielby. And just like that, we're going to see a big point now to start this set for the Mountaineers. And let's see if they can maintain this momentum that they built up late in that first set.
Yeah, Mohawk's going to want to start this set once again, trying to get up in early, keep the crowd going. It seems like the crowd noise is starting to get in the head of the Georgian team. So they just want to keep that momentum going, because momentum is something crazy with good play. And then when you have a crowd to back that up, that just doubles the intensity. You see in like outside sports, when a team has home ice or home field, it does make all the difference, and Mohawk has to feed off of that. Best way to do that, stay up on top.
Well, the Mountaineers surprisingly 9-0 undefeated on the road and 7-2 here at the D-Bark, but playing like a team here tonight, though, that wants this big win. But on the deflection there, though, we will see the Grizzlies snag their first point here with Gray setting up for serve on the end line.
Let's see if Gray can redeem himself for the last one that found the net. A very high serve he has.
He is one of the better serves in the province and a consistent jump serve, but not going to matter there if you can't dig it out as Burke wasn't able to. We're going to see a big point now to the Mountaineers. And again, the trio of McLaughlin, Gerard, and Del Judas making up 60% of the points in the regular season, doing the exact same thing here tonight. But there's Gray. Let's see if he can set it up for Ricala. But a good dig from McGurr to Charlton, and now Del Judas just floats there, it seems, until he needs to find that ball. And now on the other side, we get a good rally. Spack going to look for Gerard, and this time Gerard slamming that one down the perfect angle and finding the open court. And these Mountaineers, a super spike from Eric Gerard, to say the least, up 4-1 as McLaughlin gets this next serve in.
Yeah, they are buzzing right now. 4-1 up early in the second set.
Oh, a good dig. Spack going to get it. He will find that in the crowd, and technically we will say actually that it didn't go in between the moorings of the net. That is why they have those poles reaching a little bit further up the net to help the referees see just when that ball, kind of like a field goal in a sense, it has to go between the moorings.
Yep.
That time it didn't, as Gerard going to dig this one out for Spack, and going to come back to Gerard, and going to be just out of bounds, but the deflection there, a big point now. The Mountaineers running it up again early on here in this second set, up 5-2.
Yeah, you know Mohawk definitely has that mindset that they want to try and grab this second set, as that could very well spell the end for Georgian, and so it would be tough to come back, and we're yet to see a team in this tournament come back from 2-0.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are one of those teams that also has dropped the least amount of sets in the OCAAs with only 9. Now, of course, 10 there, though, after that one. Let's see, Burke going to save that one. He's just going to get it to Edwards, and now we see some good play back and forth. Here comes Spack. And there you have another big play. And now these Mountaineers jumping out 6-2.
Just continuing the press and just impose their will, and they just haven't made too many of those mental errors. I can only think of 1 or 2, just a bad serve, but besides that, they've just played outstanding volleyball so far here.
But a 19-game winning streak on the line here for these big Grizzlies as they're trying to now find some momentum, and that's going to help. But a great dig from McFadden and Spack, but a nice block there, and we're going to see a big point here now the other way as Ricala and Kerr coming together for a nice block up front. And Kerr going to set it up on the end line for serve here. And let's see if these Grizzlies can now find some momentum and maybe quiet this home crowd a little bit.
Yeah, they could do their best efforts or get the Georgian crowd going a little bit more. They've been kind of silent, not as much to cheer about so far.
Ooh, but Nathan Del Judas, as per usual, has something to say about that. Looking to take, I think, another big night, as I touched upon last night, 21 points. He almost won a set himself there for the Mountaineers. A nice float serve there, but Gray going to find that, getting it to Haynes, but a nice dig from Spack. Gerard just going to put it up, and we're going to see a good attempt there on the back from McLaughlin, but a nice dig for Gray. Here comes Ricala, and Ricala going to get that one to fall there, using the finesse on that one. Maybe the Mountaineers expecting a bit more power there, but it will work for Tommy Ricala.
Yeah, he kind of just dropped it in there. Trying to change it up on them a little bit. You don't want to just keep giving them straight serves. It's nice to change it up and get the finesse move going a little bit.
Oh, Mitch McFadden with another one there, though.
Tiptoeing the line there a little bit.
But Trevor Ricala, called him Tommy there a couple of seconds ago, not able to find that dig. And a big point for the Mountaineers, doubling up these Grizzlies 8-4 here in the second set, as we're going to get a big jump serve from Gerard. But he does put that one with a bit more control. But here on the other side, a massive slam by Edwards, right down between the hands of McGurr. And that's what the Grizzlies need here early on in this second set. And let's see now if Jake Edwards can continue the little momentum here these Grizzlies are finding. There goes Gerard finding Spack, and you know you're going to get Del Judas here, and just like that again. I know I sound like a broken record, but Del Judas taking that from Spack and putting it down with another big spike there. Now 9-5, and just like that, when the Georgian Grizzlies find some good points back to back, these Mountaineers, almost like they can feel the momentum slipping away, snag it right back.
Oh yeah. You really can feel the momentum when you got a crowd telling you just what your momentum's truly at. The louder the crowd, the more momentum. Continuing to play some really good defense, though, is what I'm liking a lot from Mohawk so far. Although that maybe doesn't show it as much, as that was just a good hit by Georgian. They've really been active on moving the ball around and being in position and just putting their body on the line and putting their body on the line, but making plays, not just flailing around like you see sometimes.
And Haynes getting the serve over, forcing Gerard to put that one back over. A free ball for Kerr, but we're going to see it A clean hit there for Gerard on the back line, and now McLaughlin there. We're going to see the violation, and yes, the violation on Liam Gray, and now he doesn't agree with it though. Actually, that's one of the nicer relationships I've seen actually between player and ref here. Liam Gray looking at the referee and saying, you know what, that one was on me actually. Thank you for making the right call.
Yeah.
Truly Canadian play there. But Gray going to set it up on the other side for Bielby now. Good dig from McGurr to Spack. You know McLaughlin's coming. Oh, but Burke able to get that. Are they going to find it in the stands? No. Went a little too far there for Bielby as Burke not able to dig that out. And now this lead up to 11-6 here for the Mountaineers with Spack setting up for serve.
McLaughlin just has such a powerful, perfectly placed spike that it's just almost impossible to get a good defensive set off of it, and George is showing just how good that is.
Here comes Bielby though, and an amazing dig from McGurr. He's definitely been on fire today, but Burke coming right back with a good dig. Little one-on-one play here. McLaughlin finding Spack. Gonna see if Del Judas can get that. He just forces it down. Little push play there. And now a scramble in the back for Edwards, and this is gonna lead to an easy volley for Spack, but doesn't put it in the right spot for McLaughlin, but I think it does just go out of bounds there, and that will be another point. And again, these Mountaineers doubling up. The Grizzlies 12-6 now in this second set. The Grizzlies starting to slip away here. They really need to now put on their undefeated identity and come back against these Mountaineers before they're down 2-0. But plays like that aren't going to do it as we see Spack setting up McLaughlin. And just like that again, Chris Spack, doesn't he get tired of setting up his teammates so well?
No, I don't think he ever does it, and I don't think they get tired of seeing those setups. Those are just dream matchups as teammates, something you work for all year, and Mohawk is just absolutely exemplifying how good their offensive game can truly be.
That's why Spack has 500 assists on the year, but a good dig here, and now going to be set up again, and that's going to be in, and guess who? Spack to Gerard on that one. And that's why Spack has 500 of the 719 assists on the year here. Chris Spack up front. Outside of him, it's Jesse Walczak setting it up, number 16. But you can see here, I think they're going to keep riding the hot hand of Spack as he sets it up for serve again with these Mountaineers up 14-6. We're getting a little bit of a stoppage in play here as number 8, Trevor Riccala, wanting some clarification from the referees. You've definitely seen a lot more of that today than yesterday, but that goes to show you, Lucas, the pressure of these games. No one wants to give an inch.
Especially when you know that the game you're playing in is one to go to the championship and a semifinal. It's just everything gets exemplified and the pressure's really on.
Yeah, Reed Saxby, the second-year coach out of Georgian, definitely seeming a little animated there. Story of the day, definitely coaches versus refs. But now here, Del Judas going to look to set it up on the other side there. McLaughlin going to get it down, but a nice save there from Gray. But here comes Spack again to Del Judas, and holy moly, Del Judas, killer.
It's having an absolutely amazing game. If you're one of those people that gets to attend this school, you will see him all over the gym and plays like this with the power that it shows right there on the replay. He just is in the gym working all the time, and it pays off with plays like that. And as you can see on that replay, he just smashed it.
The Mountaineers now up 9 points here, 15-6, their biggest lead here early on in this game. And it is crunch time, in my opinion, now. If you're Reed Saxby on the Georgian Grizzlies side, you have to come out of this timeout with some adjustments, and you have to, and I think personally, keep the ball away from the middle, because Chris Spack is just making it too easy with some of those easy volleys coming back from the other side. And if you make it easy for Spack, guess who he makes it easy for?
Mr. Trevor McLaughlin just smashing it home, and it just makes, when they're going, Mohawk is obviously one of the hardest teams to beat in all of this tournament. And if you're Durham looking at Mohawk, their main primary focus is what we're just talking about right now. That's where Mohawk's main offense comes from. But what we talked about earlier is Mohawk is such a team of diversity with so many working units. We have a lot of bench players who could be starters. You talked about Bentona with the injury, maybe not getting as much playing time. When you have a bench and a team that could be starters and play to a high level the entire time, that's what makes for great teams.
And we're going to pick it back up here out of that timeout now with Chris Spack setting up for serve as he gets it over for the Mountaineers. Just a little bit too much there, and if you're the Georgian Grizzlies, you're going to have a chance here now to dig into this lead, and they're going to have one of their better servers, Liam Gray, setting up as well. Liam Gray going to get this big jump serve over here. But a nice dig in there. Spack, a miss hit there from Charlton, and I think we're going to see the violation. And it's going to be actually a violation on the Grizzlies side. Ricalla going to get called for that. And with that misplay there from Ricalla, the Mountaineers getting rewarded even though they had a bit of a miss hit themselves, with McLaughlin now getting this serve in here. The 9-point lead here still, 16-7. And there we're gonna see the block attempt go out of bounds though, and the Grizzlies now with a point as they're gonna look to try and bring this game back a little bit here, still getting doubled up by these Mountaineers, 16-8. But there we get BLB. Spack, Gerard, but this time Gerard a little too much power on that one. And now BLB gonna get a chance here for a second service attempt and see if he can get these Grizzlies to double digits here, down 16-9. And you're gonna have to see Del Judas getting up there. And again, just like that, Nathan Del Judas finding himself some height. I almost feel like he's got an invisible ladder out there, Lucas, the way he can climb those rungs.
Honestly, and that just comes once again, the invisible ladder is made from hard work, which most people don't see you put in, but people will see the work you put in when you're making plays like he is. And that kind of stuff definitely doesn't go unnoticed. He's been Mohawk's arguably best player so far.
But Gray gonna force Ricalla just to put that over. Good dig though on the back line by Dashford. Sorry, that was Jesse Walczak, and that's gonna lead to a big point here. And now we got Spack and Walczak on the court here. So these Mountaineers, I think, they're feeling the big point here coming up potentially. They want to make sure they have their best setters out there to make it even that much easier on their outside hitters. You don't usually see Walczak and Spack play too often together here. But maybe Matchnar thinking he sees and feels something here, maybe a potential to really run away with this one as we get the Jesse Walczak serve in here. There's Gray setting it up to Ricalla, and Ricalla gonna get that one just through McLaughlin there. And now we do see the Grizzlies hit that double-digit mark, but still down 8, with the Mountaineers up 18-10
yeah,
here.
The Grizzlies almost hit their double-digit mark when Mohawk hit their 20 mark, which we've talked about the importance of throughout today. Georgian hopefully could try and build some momentum here, as though it's been very hard to come by, but there it is, maybe 2 points in a row now.
You get Haynes up front there, finally figuring out McFadden a little bit. McFadden definitely having the upper hand with most of the players up front, but not there though. And now we're gonna see number 14 here, Armstrong with the serve. McFadden with an attempt, and here comes McFadden. He saw that party ball. I saw his eyes light up like dinner was coming.
There was no stopping that. He was too close into the net to make any sort of play on that. That was just an outstanding play there for Mohawk.
And now 19-11 here with Max Anderson setting up for serve. These Mountaineers going for the jugular of the Grizzlies. And here's Liam Gray though. A nice one there from Haynes, but a good dig as Spack just gonna try and find the back line, maybe getting bailed out from Bielby a little bit, but here's Gray, here's Ricalla, and the deflection just out of bounds there now. Ricalla with a bit of an easy one there, but neither Gerard or McFadden able to stop that, and now 19-12 here with Trevor Ricalla setting up for serve. We're gonna see Ricalla joined by Bielby, Burke, Gray, Edwards, and Haynes on the Grizzlies side, but here comes Spack, here comes Del Judas, gonna be out of bounds there though. Actually, they're gonna call the deflection on that, and Nathan Del Judas.
That's the right call. He definitely did get a little fingertip on it. You saw the ball change direction, and Mohawk now 5 points away from putting this second set in and literally grabbing this game by the throat, and 1 set away from choking it out.
Del Judas can't do any wrong here as we get the Gerard serve, but here comes Gray. A little miss hit from Haynes, but gonna work, and now McLaughlin gonna put that one right into the body of Ricalla. I don't know how he got back up that one. I felt my rib crock a little bit there.
No, when you got a ball coming for Trevor McLaughlin, we both would have been sitting down for a little bit longer, but Georgian's playing right now with a lot of intensity because they got to try and find the way to get back in this one before it's all too late.
And they're going to see another big point. Adrenaline seems to be an incredible thing, as you mentioned, with pain thresholds. But on the other side now, these Mountaineers up double digits, 22-12 here. I think Reed Saxby a little frustrated with his team's play, to say the least. And on the other side, not that Matchnar is going to show it, but he must be a little happy. And as you see, right away going for McFadden, always trying to get his team to play better, understanding that you can't leave any stone unturned when it comes to becoming the national champions, and that's something Matt Schnarr has striven for consistently for these Mountaineers. And the big thing for the Mohawk Mountaineers, you know, they want to get back into that gold medal winning circle. Their last one, 2013, 2014. Last year taking the silver, losing to Fanshawe in that gold medal matchup. In the 2014-2015 season, having to work their way into the bronze medal matchup as well. So you know, I think they are licking their chops here with these Grizzlies, looking to take them down and get themselves trying to find some Lords tomorrow for that gold medal matchup.
Well, they have, when you've been to that point, you want to get back to it all the much more. When you know what it takes, it seems like it's more within grasp, and especially for him, like you touched on earlier in the game, he's not going to be coaching this team next year, so a lot of these guys who have enjoyed the experience of being coached by him, a little bit of extra motivation because they want to get it done for their coach. And like you talk about, there's no time to ever congratulate until the game's over. He's always coaching. He's always trying to see what else can be done.
And the big thing for Georgian, the Grizzlies, though, they have actually never medaled in the OCAAs. So you know they want to come out strong. But just like that, though, we're going to see the Mountaineers up 23-12 with the ace from Eric Gerard.
We're almost at match point now, 23-12 for the Mohawk Mountaineers.
Gerard,
that one's out, though.
As per usual in this set, too strong on that one. The other serve there, a beautiful one for the service ace. But as you mentioned, I think he's definitely feeling a little bit too much of the pressure from the crowd, really trying to force it, but they're going to get bailed out right on the other side there. And we're now going to see set point 24-13 for the Mountaineers. A quick substitution as we'll get Charlton back on, Tonin back on. We'll see McFadden and Walczak sit off here a little bit. And Tonin going to set up for serve here, trying to give his Mohawk Mountaineers the stranglehold 2-set lead here in this final semifinal match here from the D-Bark, the 2017 OCAA Championships. And here comes Tonin with the serve. And he's going to soar that one a little too far. And just like that, there's still a little bit of life here. But these Grizzlies are in tough in the second set, down 10 points here, 24-14.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough when you come off the bench just to do a serve. You're sitting there and you kind of get cold. You're kind of maybe soaked in by the moment and the nerves take over. Match point.
And there you have it, set point. These Mohawk Mountaineers now up 2-0, 25-14, taking that one quite handedly after a more of a nail biter in that first one. 25-20 in that first set, now 25-14. These Mountaineers coming out hot in that second set as we check some highlights here. What do you think these Grizzlies can do, though, to salvage their undefeated season here, Lucas?
You know, like they gotta, it seems like this game has been all Mohawk.
They gotta not do that.
Yeah, they gotta just try and find the way. You see here, maybe get some more bodies in front, get the bodies closer together. They're leaving many gaps throughout the floor. It seems like the moment might be taking over for Mohawk. And as you can see here, just great plays, and the defense isn't able to make any off a great hit there.
And there you have it, though. Del Judas, Gerard, McLaughlin killing it so far, but we're going to throw it over to Ryla here. What do you got for us, Ryla?
I'm just going to mention, highlight Trevor McLaughlin here. I mean, he's staying at 6'3", he's from Kitchener, Ontario. I mean, he is a constant, such an important player on Mohawk's team. You know, this is his 5th year. In this season alone, he's had 164 kills, and he's averaging about 3 to 5 kills per set. He's working so well with the rest of the team, and that's why we definitely see that he is Mohawk College's captain. You know, right now, he's breaking records this season. He has the most kills in Mohawk history to start with, and he's scoring by scoring over 687 kills in total, and being OCAA's Player of the Year, actually. So, I mean, he is such an important aspect to Mohawk's team.
You definitely nailed that one there, Ryla. He is very important to these Mountaineers team, and he's been a mainstay for 5 years. Definitely going to be a big loss, but I think that's going to be a bit of an indicator as why Schnarr, I think, is finding the right opportunity to retire here on the men's side, because a lot of these Mountaineers are actually going to be retired themselves after this year. So maybe Schnarr understanding the best opportunity for the new coach to come in and build that repertoire, build those relationships like Schnarr has done with many of these big players over these last few years. Maybe we can still see Mohawk maintain the stellar play that they've had in the OCAAs, but I know losing Matt Schnarr definitely has to be weighing on the Mohawk program. But here we're getting the crowd getting loud, as you can see here. Kerr trying to scream to his coach there to hear him. Not gonna, I think, get his message across there. And you can see he got the big heads out again here. You can see Max Anderson, the fans loving it up here, and this is exactly what you want to see from the D-Bark. And this is what you want to see from the semifinal matchup here for the Mountaineers as we start this third and potentially final set. But there comes Gray with a beautiful block, a beautiful dig. Not gonna matter though, as no one was really able to come up with that. Kerr thinking it was gonna go over, and McLaughlin starting this third set just like he starts each set, strong.
And you know what, if I was Georgian, the scariest thing for me would be getting down early in this set. The focus has to be trying to get up somehow. And there's just another sloppy play. So like we're talking about, Mohawk's just playing so good. If Georgian starts to do things like a lift right there like we just saw, you're asking for a lot of trouble. And the guy with the ball in his hands right now, Trevor McLaughlin, he's just playing too good. If you're going to take him out of the game, you have to do something on your end to get some scoring.
Sarge's going to pick it back up here, Lucas, if he gets back at the net, but McGurr not going to be able to put that one down with the air. Actually going to see the fourth hit there, technically, and as always, 4 is one too many. A violation's going to see that loss of serve now go to the Grizzlies here with BLB setting it up and getting it over. But McGurr, Spack, Del Judas, oh goodness, and the duo there taking a bit of a break these last few plays, but coming back strong, Spack to Del Judas. And Del Judas, I think, again, shooting for that 20-point mark himself here tonight.
Del Judas has found that spot on the floor from the right side and continues to paint the left side of the court. Just continues to find great success from there.
And we're going to see Charlton sail that one a little too long, though. And let's see if the Grizzlies now can maybe tie this up with Matt Kerr setting up for serve here on the end line for those undefeated Georgian Grizzlies. Number 18, Matt Kerr. And that's how many wins these Georgian Grizzlies had in their undefeated regular season. But they're in tough. And there's Del Judas. He's going to find the deflection. And I think we're going to see the violation actually on the Mountaineer side there. Bailing out Kerr as he put back an easy party ball that I was about to get very excited for these Mountaineers to slam down. But just like that was mentioned, Kerr finding the tie for his Grizzlies now 3-all. And the serve going up and over. Spack going to have to find that when he does. Gets it to Gerard. Gerard getting a big block there, but going to go out of bounds. And now the point here for the Mohawk Mountaineers. As you can see, Matt Schnarr really trying to get McGurr to understand that he has to slide over a much quicker pace there. And now Del Judas with the 4-3 lead here, setting up for serve. Going to get a nice and easy one over here for Burke, digging it out, and no one's going to be there, as that one was supposed to be for Ricala, as Hames let that go. Ricala not able to find that, and Del Judas with a nice play there. 5-3 now for the Mountaineers, and this is the exact point where they started to run away with the last set. Here comes and you saw Liam Gray have such a look of disappointment there, as he knew he wasn't going to get a chance on that one, and McFadden again, eyes like saucers, just throwing it down.
Yeah, Mohawk can seem to do no wrong right now. Even into the third set, you thought maybe they would slow down. Georgian would play some of their best ball. There's a great play, something we haven't seen a lot of from them, so sorry that I was kind of trashing them for a little bit there. But Mohawk has just continued to play their game, and you saw prior to that play a very strong mental error from Georgian, and they are not at a point, and another mental error, and as I was going to say, they're not at a point where they can afford to give up 1 or 2 points, because Mohawk has showed that they're going to continue to take points at will.
Yeah, these undefeated Georgian Grizzlies are finding themselves in tough against the 17-2 Mountaineers, and here's the big serve from Gerard. Almost takes down the mooring on the net. But with that, though, a couple of errors traded back and forth. We're going to now see Ricala setting it up for serve here with the Grizzlies down 7-5. And they're having to really come up big against these Mountaineers, but a one-on-one ball with Kern Spack. Spack doing well there. Spack going to find McLaughlin. McLaughlin getting another big kill down. And just as we saw earlier, Lucas, the Fanshawe Falcons struggling to get their outside hitters going there. James Jackson running into some big players there.
Yep.
We're seeing the opposite for the Mountaineers tonight
Yep.
here. Those outside hitters are flying high again.
So just to correct today for our viewers at home, he meant the Georgian Bears. We did the Falcons game previous to that. No worries, Nick. But I was going to touch on the point of McLaughlin has just been too good. Like, I don't know how else to put it. His strikes have just been just straight at Georgian to the point where they have no answer for them. They're not able to get any offense off of the balls that he brings over to their side. When he shoots that ball over, it's not coming back. It's just a point for Mohawk. And for them to win the championships, if they are to win this game tomorrow and to go on for the Nationals, he will have to continue to play this way, and I'm sure that he will.
As we touched upon at the start, the Durham Lords making it tough here on the Mountaineers by taking out the Falcons, forcing these Mountaineers now to win both games to get into the national championship. But you know the Mountaineers want the gold anyways, and with play like that up front from Spack and Charlton, that could very well be a possibility here. And now doubling up these Grizzlies, 10-5 with McFadden setting up for serve.
Mohawk's just having too much fun playing right now. They're just at a point right now where they're just enjoying this home crowd experience, enjoying the lead, enjoying playing really well. We've talked continuously about how this team is a little bit of an older one, so memories like this are going to live on forever for these kids.
Yeah, experience is something they have a massive breadth of here on the Mountaineers side. A lot of veteran players, as we touched upon. You know, you have the fourth-year Ben Tonin, you have the fifth-year McGurr, Spack's a fourth-year, McLaughlin's a fifth-year, lots of a veteran presence here. But now Spack looking for Charlton. Charlton not going to be able to hit that one again for fear of the double hit, and the Grizzlies now trying to dig into this momentum, trying to quiet this crowd a little bit here. 10-7 though with Haynes setting it up for serve. As he gets it over, we're going to find McLaughlin getting it to Spack, and here comes Del Judas, but going to be forced just to put that one over easy. One-on-one with Gray, and they're going to see Gray get called for the violation there as he touched the net. Doesn't agree with the call. Maybe becoming a little less friendly with the referees now.
His American side starting to come out. Kidding, of course.
And now we're going to see, though, this 11-7 lead for the Mountaineers potentially stretched even further with their hot lineup here with the Spack serve. But here comes Gray looking to get it to Bielby, and a huge block and a lot of woos all over the place, to say the least. Charlton and Del Judas. And now the referee going to warn the Mohawk bench a little bit here as they're all falling all over the place here. We got ourselves an exciting one here at the D-Bar.
They are beginning to have a little bit too much fun, like I said. I don't know if you caught that, Nick. We had a couple players dive to the ground in excitement. Referee's not too happy about that. At the end of the day, it's all sportsmanship. No one likes a team that boasts too much. Mohawk, of course, will fix that.
Exactly what Matt Schnarr was saying to his team there, and that's what I love about Matt Schnarr is he has great humility. And another big point here now is the Mountaineers almost doubling up the Grizzlies here, 13-7. And I know I can't say enough nice things about Matt Schnarr, just because that presence on the sidelines as he stalks it is nothing but revolutionary, I think, here for these Mountaineers. And again, 9 straight OCAA medals. He's definitely a reason, but Nathan Del Judas proving to be another big reason here.
He celebrates just as much as his teammates, as his team does. You saw that play made by the Mountaineers. He was the first one to celebrate. We're up 14-7 now.
A rare smile. I'm sorry, Lucas. A rare smile from Matt Schnarr there. We just caught that one. I had to point it out.
And it's gone. And it is now gone. It is faded, and it never happened.
Exactly. But 15-7, actually the violation, sorry, there on that serve. And now loss of serve finally for the Mountaineers. We'll see Liam Gray setting it up here on the other side. The other CCAA All-Canadian player in tough against these Mountaineers. And with the unforced error there, it's now going to be back over to the Mountaineers up 15-8. And now joining the crowd here, we got Mo the Hawk out again here tonight, Lucas.
Yeah, we've been talking all night about how great this crowd has been here at the David Braley Athletic Center for Mohawk. It's been a great crowd for them, and it's definitely given them a little bit more of a motivation, and this is what you like to see for the OCAA tournament, is people coming out to support. Obviously, Mohawk's going to get the biggest crowd due to the fact that it is their home team, but even for the other games that we've seen today where the schools are miles and miles away, this is exactly what the OCAA is all about, and we'd like to let you know that the OCAA is presented by Bel Air Direct.
Yeah, and for a lot of those viewers who've managed to catch us here in this last couple of days on M-Link, I'm a big proponent of thank you for spending your time listening to both myself and Lucas here today. We appreciate that. But as mentioned, tomorrow we have another full slate, though, as we're going to see the consolation final at 12 p.m. We're also going to see the bronze medal matchup at 2 p.m., followed up by, of course, the gold medal matchup at 5 p.m., which could potentially see these Mountaineers taking on the Durham Lords. And in the other matchup there for the bronze medal, you're going to see the Fanshawe Falcons in tough, potentially, against these Grizzlies maybe. But we're not done just yet, though. 16-8 for the Mountaineers here. Lots of volleyball to play, but the end could potentially be in sight for these Mountaineers. Just 9 points away from a straight set victory here to launch themselves into that aforementioned gold medal game tomorrow.
You know, that's definitely maybe starting to creep into the minds of these players. What a way to end the career than to win an OCAA championship in your home gym where you spent all your time working to get to the point where you are at. Well, more smarts from the Mohawk team there as it's 17-8.
I was going to say, a lot of these players have tasted the championship as well. Gold medal there in 2013, 2014, so you know they want to taste that again and maybe this time take a national championship home for the mantle. And with play like that, it's definitely going to be a possibility now. The double-digit lead, 18-8, with a nice serve on that play from McLaughlin. And truly we're seeing a test of the East versus West OCAA divisions here. The East looking great against the Falcons, but now we're seeing the West coming back strong. But McLaughlin, they're going to lose serve. And let's see here on the other side if Bielby can get his team to double digits like he did in that last set when it was 18-9, a similar score. But a different story here now, 19-9 for the Mountaineers, and you can almost feel the wheels coming off here for these Grizzlies.
Yeah, you can feel the wheels coming off, and you can look at the players' faces. Unfortunately, I can't imagine what it feels like, a very dejected feeling. You've made it this far. They're going to have a chance to play for the bronze medal tomorrow against the Fanshawe Falcons, which will not be an easier game as Fanshawe has just as much potential to cause as many problems for them as Mohawk is right now. Great play right there. They need a little bit more of that. But
Jordy Romero, number 6. Haven't seen Romero yet, but maybe we should be seeing a little more of him as he takes that gray set and puts it down for a big kill there. Now 19-10 with Kerr setting up for serve, getting it over for the Grizzlies. McGurr to Spack, and there's McFadden, and that's the story of the game here tonight, folks. Spack to McFadden up the middle there. The super spike putting that down as we get a quick substitution with Anderson coming in here for Del Judas.
I'm looking over here at Georgian coach Reed Saxby, and he's even standing there beside himself. Maybe starting to feel a little bit bad for his team as they are taking a little bit of a beating here in front of a crowd that's not letting them hear the end of it.
But Bilby finding that dig. Here comes Gray to Romero again, but this time Romero going to put that one right into the net in air there, and now the Mountaineers just 4 points away from the win here, up 21-10. The Grizzlies, if they were able to win this one, would have put themselves at a potential for their first OCAA medal ever, but with this loss here tonight, they may have to somehow take down the Falcons, but hey, we're not done just yet here. 21-11 though, a nice kill there. And now we're going to see Jordan Romero setting up for serve here on the Grizzlies side with Del Judas coming back in. And Anderson getting a big high five there as he goes off from that schnar. But here comes Romero with the serve. Nice serve from Romero. McLaughlin digging it out to Spack here. Let's see if Gerard can do much with it. He can, but Gray finds that there to Burke. Back to Gray. And Gray going to be just out there, and now 22-11, doubling up these Grizzlies again. Here are these Mountaineers as they look to finish off these Grizzlies.
Coming in for Mohawk and getting a standing ovation all the way from Scotland. I have had an opportunity to actually do a documentary here on Thomas Bar. Coming all the way over from Scotland just to play volleyball, wasn't given the opportunity at home to play competitively. This is a moment that he talked about that he thought he might never get to. He joked about how he doesn't get a lot of court time. Look for him here and his teammates to try and get him some points. And he's going to love to be on the court for the end of this. Mohawk now 1 point away from taking it.
And you're going to see a big timeout here now on the side for Reed Saxby, understanding here that this one's about to slip away with the Mountaineers up 23-11. And I don't know if this crowd could get any louder here, but what I have to point out though in that timeout, you can see, look at how relaxed these Mountaineers are.
Well, they know it. They're 2 points away from the W, and this is all that they could ask for. They get to have this at home. Nothing could make them happier than this, to absolutely put on one of the best games of their season, if not the at home. All the pressure on, chance at the championships. This is all that they can ask for. They're just 2 points away. They're going to need to do a lot to mess this one up.
Yeah, the Mountaineers playing very well here at the D-Bark, where we mentioned they did find both of their losses in the season earlier, coming, of course, to Fanshawe, where they split the season series by taking the first game in the Falcons' home court. But they actually lost a stunner to the Redeemer Royals early on, November 29th here, and that is the only 2 times they've lost on the year, as they're looking to finish this one strong here with Thomas Barr setting up for serve now. And these Mountaineers here up 23-11. But Barr gets the serve over. There's Kerr to Gray, gonna try and look for Rakella, but Rakella gonna hit that one right into the net. They're gonna say it was the block actually. And with that one now, we have set and match point here coming for your Mohawk Mountaineers. Let's get loud and let's see if they can finish it off here with Thomas Barr getting this set in. And right there you have it. Thomas Barr with the ace pass for Culla. We are now going to see your Mohawk Mountaineers launch themselves into the 5 p.m. gold medal matchup with a chance to take the OCAA championships against the Durham Lords. Holy moly, Lucas, these last couple of semifinals matchups, I may not have my voice tomorrow, but luckily I think you're going to be picking it up for us.
Yeah, we won't get to listen to Nick tomorrow, but I will be here, and I will be here for the gold medal game between Durham and Mohawk. What a fitting way for this one to end for Mohawk. No other than Thomas Barr getting his chance to shine. As I said, he didn't think he'd get this moment, and just the best possible way for this game to end. Mohawk with a convincing win, 3-0 sets in both of our games. Who would have thought? Player of the game presentation's on now. Here we go.
I did predict the 3-0 set win for the Mountaineers, but I didn't predict the 3-0 set win for the Lords. I actually thought the Fanshawe Falcons were going to come out and surprise them, but we get the players of the game, as you mentioned there, Lucas. And of course, Chris Spack, the big player of the game here for the Mountaineers. And as I touched upon at the start of the game, these Mountaineers depend on Spack to get their outside hitters the ball, and he does just that in such a torrid pace. Over 500 assists on the year, a well-deserved player of the game here. And now on the other side here, we're gonna see some handshakes.
Just a great win for the Mohawk team. Excited for the gold medal game at home. And this is awesome. We are going to see some highlights from this game. A total domination from the Mohawk team. Let's get into it. Right there, finding the open spot, just smashing it home. Georgian looking like they got something. Nope. Mohawk's got the defense, the big bodies up front. He is
Nathan Del Judas all over the place. I know I said McFadden was a big player today, but Nathan Del Judas again, we'll have to double check if he managed to get himself up to the 20-point plateau. I know he was on fire, and you can see here, Romero was trying to bring his team back there, Jordan Romero, but not able to do that though. And we're gonna throw it to Riley, I believe, in a little bit here, as she tries to find a player from the Mountaineers side. A little bit hard there as they're all celebrating all over the court. I think she is able to get, yep, we're actually gonna see the Mountaineers celebrating with the crowd here. So thank you all very much here for joining us again at the 2017 OCAA Championships. I've been Nick Sahami here.
And I'm Lucas Mancini. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in tomorrow for the gold medal game at 5 o'clock. There's a game at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day.
We'll see you guys later.